I want to talk about something that I think is fucking dope. I think the fact that we, as a society, can progress is fucking dope. Now, let me preface why I'm talking about this. So, there's a YouTuber, very famous YouTuber, very good YouTuber in my opinion, making content. His name is JelloApocalypse. Well, his name is JelloApocalypse. Well, actually, I'll give a little backstory. So in the past few weeks, a song called Namasacore by an artist called Plastic Blade popped into my head because a while back in the days of yore, I followed her SoundCloud. So every now and then, I get notifications from SoundCloud saying, "Want to hop back into Plastic Blade's music, whatever," or if she posts a new track, whatever. So every now and then, I'll check out her SoundCloud. So recently I checked back and I started listening to some of her tracks again, which reminded me of her song Nimbasacore, arguably her most famous song. So, the thing about Nimbasacore was that it was used as the outro to a very famous series called the Welcome To series by, I hope this pigeon didn't shit on me. It's not really a pigeon, it's just a bird, but hope it doesn't shit on me. It didn't seem to. Also, looking at the moon up there. I love when you can see the sun and the moon at the same time. Anyway, it was used as the outro to JelloApocalypse's YouTube video series. Look at that. Pride flag. Fucking dope. It was used as the outro to his video series, Welcome To series. He had videos like I believe it was Welcome to Revior, Welcome to Facebook, Welcome to YouTube, Welcome to Twitter, Welcome to Tumblr, Welcome to was Wattpad next? I know he made Welcome to Vine as a joke. Then he made Welcome to Wattpad. I think after that, then Welcome to Steam as another joke, and then I think Welcome to Kickstarter or Welcome to something, and that was it. They made some YouTube comment videos, and that was essentially the end of the Welcome To series, excuse me. Funny series. But it was essentially that. So I was reacquainted with his content, and I wanted to rewatch some of the Welcome To videos this morning while I was waiting for it to become light enough out that I could go on my walk, but not dark enough so that I couldn't enjoy dusk. And while I did overshoot it a little bit, I'm happy with the results. I might try and do it a little earlier tomorrow, like 5:45 or something. Anyway, so I get up and I go to, so I just get ready, I make myself some Kool-Aid, I get ready, and I listen to his videos. So and they're funny, nostalgic. So I get to Welcome To Tumblr. I'm like, I want to see if Plaster Blade voiced any of these. Also, a few weeks ago, I recently learned that JelloApocalypse and Plaster Blade were siblings. Never knew that. I think some people actually thought Plaster Blade was a boy or whatever, because I remember I was watching an upload of one of her songs on YouTube. I think it was actually the mouse score. Check out some of his music in the description. Fair enough, I think people just assume people are men by default on YouTube, but whatever. Or just on the internet, because I don't know why, but I try to assume people are men, women, non-binary, whatever, equally. I just try to assume people are just generalists until they give me a reason to suspect them otherwise. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So they're siblings, that's interesting. But I want to see if on Welcome to Tumblr, if Plaster Blade voiced I want to see if Plaster Blade voiced the female voiced characters in that. I have to actually see that because I haven't actually finished Welcome to Tumblr. I'm going to finish it, despite what I'm saying, because I just want to rewatch the whole series just for nostalgia. But I noticed that the description when I went on my phone was like wiped clean, and it said, please read the pinned comment and stuff. He's not proud of the video. I'm like, okay. So JelloApocalypse writes this super long post about how he's not proud of the video for various reasons and such. And how he doesn't like the video anymore. You should watch the newer content instead. So Jello says that he is ashamed of the video because there are jokes in that video which are transphobic. Specifically a post where something about a man, a vagina, and a vaginabled joke, and how he actually had friends back in the day who were afraid to come out as LGBT because he made those jokes and they thought he wouldn't accept them. And that's a shame. You know, he says, like in his post, trans rights and all that good stuff. You know, I think that was just really interesting. You know, that whole thing of being like, because, you know, as I responded to him, I'll never know if he read it. If he did, that's fucking dope. You know, but if, like, I think that's, back when I was 13 or 12 or whatever, I watched that video for the first time. I honestly did not think anything of it. I thought it was just like a haha funny meme video, which in some ways it is still, but that's what I just thought of it. I didn't take the jokes of like vaginabled or whatever seriously. But now looking back, yeah, those jokes, I don't think there's anybody around. I think I take my mask off. I don't think there's, looking back, those jokes are kind of problematic. They are kind of transphobic in, you know, retrospect. I don't think they're particularly too egregious, but they are pretty transphobic. Or, yeah. And, you know, I feel, well, I didn't particularly find them offensive. I'm a straight white male, you know, straight white cisgender, whatever male. You know, I'm trash. Yeah. But I'm not even trans. Trans people might actually get offended by that. And that's, you know, important to realize. Trans people, by the way, completely valid, completely dope. Trans rights all the way, motherfucker. But yeah, it can be transphobic in retrospect. Anyway, he essentially said that, you know, he feels he's not proud of the video. And I still think aspects of the video funny. I think some jokes are still funny and still stand up. But I can completely understand why he'd want to address that video in retrospect. And honestly, that's dope. So with this, I want to segue into the rest of the video, which is going to be essentially me. Actually, and also if Jello is watching this, which I don't know why he would be. I got like 60 fucking subscribers, but if he is, I like your content. I'm definitely gonna check out the new stuff now that I got reacquainted with your channel. You're funny, motherfucker. Keep going on. Rock on, dude. But I don't know, maybe I'll put JelloApocalypse in the tags and maybe I'll get some views for once. Anyway, so I think progressivism is pretty fucking cool. I would describe myself as progressive. You know, the interesting thing about me is I used to be one of those, I wouldn't say proto-fascist because I never got that far down the rabbit hole, but I used to be a proto-conservative, let's say, or a center-right person instead of center-left. Because I used to watch a lot of anti-SJW and conservative YouTube. I used to watch Bench. Hurts to say it these days. I used to watch a lot of Bench Piro. A lot of Mr. Let's say you've been a bad girl. A lot of that motherfucker. And I'm ashamed. I mean, a few of the memes were funny. I can still find humor in a few of the memes. Most of them were fucking shit. Most of them were just fucking transphobic, homophobic nonsense. Used to watch that. Used to watch, I don't think I ever watched Steven Crowder. I think I watched Jordan Peterson. I don't know if I watched his I did watch his political stuff, but I did like his self-help stuff. I thought his self-help and his analysis of like Disney movies and stuff was kind of interesting. But looking back at it, that was just like, what the fuck was I doing? Sorry, my glasses get so foggy because of his mask. But I'm just thinking like, what was I doing? I was like, oh, I'm a centrist, you know. I like to enjoy both sides of the political spectrum. And I still watched anti-SJW YouTubers who mostly describe themselves as liberal. So, oh yeah, I watched left-wing YouTubers and conservative YouTubers. Anyway, I found there's probably a combination of both helpful. I'm sorry, I have to keep taking my glasses. I have to keep putting the camera down. I have to unplug my glasses. There's not really anybody around, so I could probably just talk normally. Oh fuck. Anyway, so I was like, I watch anti-SJW and I watch leftists, you know, or I watch conservatives and I watch left-wing people, you know, even though I was just watching anti-SJWs, which is essentially just, you know, center-left with a kind of like, it's essentially liberalism with a slightly conservative slant, but whatever. So, essentially, I watched that. Then I think I slowly started to become more left-wing in my views. This happened mainly midway probably through high school and slowly started occurring as like really started to become a thing as the midpoint between entering college and being in college. And by the time I was like probably near the end of my first semester of college, I started to really become a left-wing person. I stopped, back in the day, I called myself a classical liberal, which, as Chris Reagan said on, he put it perfectly on his conversation with Walsh. It's kind of, I don't call myself anymore, because it's kind of like I'm not like the other girls version of the liberal. It's like, I'm not like those other liberals. I'm a cool liberal. I'm a classical liberal, not like those social liberals that you know about. I'm a cool liberal. That really is what the fucking classical liberal fucking line is. And even so, that's just classical liberalism with like a slide with, I like my liberalism how we used to have it, you know, I like my liberalism with some extra slavery on top, which is just like, what the fuck? I didn't mean anything by, I don't think I was, was I particularly racist at the time? I don't fucking know. I didn't mean anything by it, but I just called myself a fucking classical liberal because I wanted to be special. You know, it's funny, people like on the right or left or whatever want to be fucking special, and they fucking call out like Tumblr people saying, you just want to be special, you're fucking snowflakes. There's a lot of fucking conservative snowflakes too, come on. But yeah, I used to be a California liberal. I think it has good mouthfeel, but it's not a fucking very descriptive term or really useful. Just call yourself a fucking liberal if you're a fucking liberal, man. Okay, so, but I used to, I used to call myself a classical liberal. I'm not anymore. I don't even call myself a liberal anymore. I call myself either a social democrat or a social libertarian, because honestly that is what I am. Like, my beliefs are mainly fall into the thing of social democrat and social libertarian. You know, I wouldn't call myself a socialist. Maybe I'll be a socialist in 2 years, honestly, with the way things are going in my political things, because I honestly feel like I just keep going further left. But whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, essentially, I feel that the fact that our society can progress is fucking dope, because I think progressing as a society is dope, because just a few years ago, like I was talking about with the JelloApocalypse video, society 30 years ago, let's say, used to be pretty homophobic, maybe even, I can't say, when I say 20 years ago, I think it's still like the mid 2010s, and 20 years ago is like the 90s. But, okay, so 40 years ago and 30 years ago, because now 40 years ago means the 80s and 20 years ago means the 30s, or the fucking 30s, what, 90 years ago? No, 20 years and 40 years ago and 30 years ago means the 90s. 20 years ago would be the 2000s, when, and stuff like this was starting to fade by then. There was still some of it, but 40 years ago and 30 years ago, homophobia was still a pretty big thing. Look at that yard, very nice. Homophobia was still a pretty big thing. Nice gate. I'm not robbing a place. I like to admire. I'm a fan of architecture, and I like to admire people's houses when they're particularly nice. Anyway, German Shepherd. Anyway, so what the fuck am I talking about? Oh, yeah, so 30, 40 years ago, homophobia was still pretty big. You know, it was, God, it's like Silent Hill out here. But like, it was like, homophobia was still a big thing. And 10 years ago, transphobia was still a big thing. Transphobia is still a thing in our culture, which sucks. I hope it honestly gets better. Like, but that's the thing. Transphobia is still a big fucking thing. You know, but, you know, we still got, like, because, and there's transphobia on, like, fucking both sides of the political. You have conservatives like Ben Shapiro and fucking shit on the left, on the right, saying shit like, you know, I'm not gonna call a trans person by their preferred pronoun, because they're not biologically male or female. Biologically, speaking of which, biologically male or female is a term that was created in like the past like fucking 30, 40 years just to stop ahead, just to just to explain stuff for trans people, or make terminology for trans people, whatever. It looks so beautiful, my God, the sun's coming out. Like the song Sunday Morning by fucking Velvet Underground. But I'm fucking, the ADHD is strong. I should have took my medication, which I do take medication for my ADHD. So, yeah, I'm not gonna call a trans woman a trans person by their pronouns, because you know they're not biologically that gender, and I am Mr. Biology, and it's just like I'm Mr. Facts Logic, and it's like, okay, Mr. Ben should be boo, you know, fucking don't call a trans person biological, but you're a fucking asshole. That's why I don't watch this motherfucker anymore, and that's also why oh, by the way, speaking of when I was a proto-conservative. Thank God I never got into Steven Crowder. Because I watched a Steven Crowder video today, and I want to bang my head against the fucking wall. Because, oh my God, how do people find this motherfucker serious? Or how do motherfuckers find this guy funny? His content is like fucking sucking ass through a straw or fucking whatever. It's like snorting cocoa powders. No, I'm not going to finish that sentence. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's fucking, Steven Crowder's fucking, he's a fucking, he is a, what should I say? He is a swine, I guess I could say. That is the best way I could describe Steven Crowder. He is a swine. Fucking shit. Also, Dave Rubin. Fuck Dave Rubin. Fucking slimy grifter piece of shit. Temple too. Temple's also a slimy grifter. But yeah, like, transphobia, culture's still pretty transphobic. Anyway, then we have TERFs on the left as well. We can fish for failure. And all I can say about TERFs is, fuck TERFs. TERFs can go, TERFs can go fuck themselves. I don't give a shit. Fuck TERFs. Trans people are fucking awesome. And TERFs are fucking bullshit. Anyway, transphobia fucking sucks. It's starting to become less and less. I think it's fucking dope. Trans people are fucking dope. And I'm an ally for a lot of shit. So, anyway, I need to remove the bushes here. The big thing I feel about trans people is that, besides that they're awesome, it's just, you know, transphobia is starting to become less of a thing, and that's pretty fucking cool. You know, so, Joe Rogan, I was gonna say something about Joe Rogan is kind of transphobic. I feel like he's pretty fucking entertaining at times, because he's an ape, essentially. But he can be quite problematic at times himself. But I don't think we should cancel Joe Rogan. I don't think it's possible to cancel Joe Rogan. But this is not a video about Joe Rogan. This is a video about progressivism. So progressivism is, like, I think it's still, like, to say it for like the 49th time, progressivism is a pretty dope thing, you know? That's like whenever I write stories, because I'm always writing stories. I'm writing a superhero story right now. Maybe I'll make a video about it. You know, check out me talking about my superhero concept. Hopefully I'll actually finish the story. But, like, most of my stories have a progressive or anti-fascist, which it's kind of dangerous to say now because Antifa is allegedly going to be called a terrorist group by President Trump. And I'll just say this, I don't support Antifa. I'm not a member of Antifa, but I am an anti-fascist because I like World War II. I'll just say that to keep myself safe. But, you know, most of my stories have, like, a progressive slant to them, and that's because I'm a progressive at heart. I think progressivism is pretty dope. But to essentially wrap it all up, I think the JelloApocalypse situation was very interesting to read about. You know, I think Jello, like, I doubt even if you found this video, you'd be watching this long, but Jello, cool motherfucker. Honestly. Keep making good content, keep growing as a person. Yeah. And essentially, like, you know, I think it's a pretty... So that comment he left on his own video, the pin comment, was actually, oh, look at that, a heart. Love is love. But I think, like, the comment he left on his video was really recent. It was only like a week ago. But you know what? Beautiful sunrise. Honestly, though, I think it's good to admit your past mistakes and such. My friend sent me a story by David Byrne, you know, lead singer of Talking Heads. You know, he has this show, American Utopia and stuff. Still makes good music, still makes really dope music. But he sent me a post by him, and there's a clip in a skit after Stop Making Sense where David Byrne, not intending to be racist, does blackface in a skit on the DVD extras to Stop Making Sense. And he actually apologized for it. You know, he said he's grown since then, and he continues to grow. And I think that's fucking dope. You know, I didn't think it was particularly offensive. I think it's one of the rare cases where blackface can be tasteful. It's very rare, and I don't suggest doing blackface, but if handled carefully, it can be tasteful. Now, the only other example besides that one that I can think of is Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. But, yeah. But besides that, don't do blackface. But, yeah. You know. Yeah. He apologized for it, and I didn't think it was particularly offensive. Maybe some people did. Good for him to apologize for that. But, anyway, to wrap everything up, you know, progressivism is a pretty cool thing. And to also just make sure to show that I've shed my conservative skills all the way. Black Lives Matter, trans rights, gay rights, ACAP, you know, all that shit. I think I think trans people are cool. You know, yeah. Progressivism is pretty dope. Biden 2020, hurts me to say that, but I gotta say it. Fuck Orange Man, Sleepy Joe versus Orange Man, choosing Sleepy Joe. And besides all that, I think, pretty good. New York rocks. And, yeah, my name is Vinny. This is my super long, almost 25-minute vlog. Nobody's gonna watch this, but if you do, I hope you have a good day. Hope you have a fucking sweet time. Drink some Kool-Aid, like I'm about to do when I get home. And I'm also gonna have some breakfast. And, yeah. Have a fucking awesome day. I'm gonna eat some breakfast. Probably finish off those JelloApocalypse videos just because I want to just finish off my nostalgia from the whole series. Even though some of it's problematic, like he addressed. And I'm gonna go to bed. Probably because I'm going to work. Gotta lay with my dog. She's sick. My mom wants to spend time with her. That's what I'll do. And I'm just gonna have a good time. I'm just gonna keep living life like I've been doing. Have a good day, hombre.